Hello, good morning to all. Today we have to study about understanding of hydraulic cylinder in a subject of oil, hydraulics and pneumatics. Most of our current scenario, there is a most work on a load condition. This type of the load is a heavily load condition. It cannot be operated by the manpower. So it's required a machine to operate this load condition. In this condition, we have to add some machinery which is operated by hydraulic system or operated by pneumatic system. In a hydraulic system, the main working purpose is a hydraulic cylinder. So we have to study about the hydraulic cylinder in detail in this lecture. First, what is the hydraulic? Meaning of hydraulic? Hydraulic power is also called as a fluid power. Means this is the power known as a fluid power. Because of that, we have to generate power from the fluid. The power transmitted by the controlled circulation of pressurized fluid which is coming from the hydraulic pump. Usually the working fluid of the hydraulic system is water soluble oil or water glycol mixture. To a motor that converts into the mechanical output capable of doing work on a load. In the short, there is one hydraulic motor give a hydraulic fluid like as a water soluble oil or water glycol mixture to the hydraulic cylinder, and hydraulic cylinder converts hydraulic pressure to mechanical work which we have to convert into a capable of doing work. Next, what is the hydraulic cylinder? It's also called as a linear hydraulic motor. Linear means is work only and only one directional, not only rotational direction. Means we can say that as a reciprocating motion type working. That's also a linear hydraulic motor. Is a mechanical actuator that is used to give unidirectional force, means that it's give only one directional force through unidirectional stroke. When the working cylinder in a work, it give only one directional force. It has many applications in a construction equipment, engineering vehicle, manufacturing machinery, and civil engineering. That's all type of the machinery and engineering field can use hydraulic system. The fluid power system avoids mechanical linkage like as a belt, pulley, chain, sprocket, gear, etc. to a greater extent, so that the hydraulic system is a best for using of a fluid power system. Fluid power systems are more flexible to cope up with design changes. Any modification in design can easily implemented in the existing and fluid power system. Then after the meaning for that stroke, the stroke is a normal amount of travel of piston can move in and out. Means it give a movement of piston. We have to just know this is a one cylinder. If you have to putting a inside one, that's how we have to give as a this is a working cylinder. The movement of this cylinder is from left side or is from right side, and the working place is, you have to consider, this is the working area of travel piston in to out. Thus we can say this is the stroke. This called as a stroke or stroke length, where the piston is moved in and out. It can be found by subtracting in maximum extended length of the hydraulic cylinder from its minimum compressed length. Introduction, there to continue. Hydraulic cylinder are used in a countless application. There is a many more application for using of hydraulic cylinder, the countless application. They are often seen at a work in a both industrial applications and mobile application. Industrial application most of use a hydraulic system, and also a mobile application uses a hydraulic system. Modern transportation system use both hydraulic as well as pneumatic system. Fluid power is extensively used in all three modes of transportation via land, sea, and airways, including hydraulic press, crane, forges, and packaging machine that also are using a hydraulic system. Then we can say that the mobile application is agriculture machines, construction vehicle, and marine equipment also uses a hydraulic system. Sometimes the manufacturing industry extremely depend upon fluid power in order to minimize labor effort and increase the quality and quantity of production. Automation is very much essential in order to produce best product which can win the heart of customer, so that the equipment higher range of quality and mass production we have to require than using the hydraulic cylinder with a higher load condition. This is the drawing of single acting hydraulic cylinder. There to know about the all name, this is a packed gland. It's give a one type of the sealing that the fluid cannot out from the cylinder. Here is a rod that have to push by externally force. This is a ram. Ram is a one type of the piston or circular rod which move inside and outside of the cylinder and creating a higher force. This next term is a gland nut. Gland nut means it's give a higher sealing of the cylinder which can stop the fluid out from the cylinder. Is a cylinder housing. It's provided one type of the housing to operate oil and ram. Cylinder inside there is a working fluid is here and transfer from the inside and outside. This is the work based on working fluid. This is the head and the master cylinder head, and this point mentioned as a head. This point is a fuel supply when we have to applied fluid from the hydraulic pump to a hydraulic cylinder. Here is a end rod. There is the end position of the cylinder. When the working start, if you have to supply fluid inside the cylinder, the movement of the ram is outward direction, and here is a creating pressure. In the next term, if you have to release or extract the oil from the cylinder, that means oil return to a tank and piston move downward direction. This is the normal working of single acting hydraulic cylinder. We have to apply force from the fluid supply, and it's create a higher pressure inside the cylinder and carry the heavy load at the end road condition. Here it's carry heavy load. This is the different type of the hydraulic cylinder. First is a single acting hydraulic cylinder. That means this cylinder work only and only one direction, means the working area of only one side of the piston. This is the working area we have to mention here. This is the working area of the cylinder, only one side of the cylinder. It's work only and only one side, and another side of the system is a open part to the atmospheric condition. And this points is a mentioned input of the cylinder. The next drawing is a double acting cylinder. Double acting cylinder, it's work both side of the system. This cylinder work both side of the working cylinder. This is the side 1 and here is a side 2. That's work both side of the cylinder from the pistons. Here you have to give one side as a inlet and another side as a comparatively outlet. Here the one side is inlet and another side is outlet. Here is a red color mentioned that the fluid enter into the cylinder and create a higher pressure to the piston, and piston move from right side and create a heavily force at the end of rod. Here is create a heavily load at the end of rod. And secondary side, this blue part is mentioned, the excess oil from the cylinder is coming out from the cylinder and return to a hydraulic tank. This is the hydraulic symbol of double acting cylinder. This is the symbol of hydraulic cylinder. There is also a symbol of hydraulic cylinder in a single acting cylinder. It's only work on a single side, so that is give a only one input. Here double acting cylinder give a one input and one output and work both side of the piston. The next is a double acting with double rod. Here the piston attach both side of the level, and here is piston attached only and only one side. For a double acting cylinder, the piston are attached from the both side. The symbol of this cylinder is, here is a one inlet, one outlet, and here the both side are mentioned as a rod attached from the both side. That's also a same working from one as a inlet and one as a outlet. Here is a mentioned inlet from the hydraulic pump and here is a outlet at the hydraulic tank. This is the normal working animation of single acting cylinder. Here we saw that one crank is running and the movement of piston is left direction to right direction. Here is a piston movement and working we can see here. The first half revolution of the crank piston move from left side to right side and create a higher pressure inside the cylinder, and another movement of the 180 revolution of crank piston move from left side to right side and create a low pressure so that the oil or any material suck from the suction and enter into the cylinder. Then after the stroke is reversed and fluid is pressurized and is goes out from these points. This is the normal working of the single acting cylinder. The first condition is a Manson suction and second condition is Manson discharge from the cylinder. This is the working of double acting cylinder. Here we can say this is the double acting cylinder condition. Here this mechanism is a direction control valve which gives the direction of the working fluid from where to pass. This is the inlet 1, inlet 2 and inlet 3. Here is a 1, 2 and 3 port are given, and for output 2 port are is given. These 2 ports are common. These 2 ports are common and one is a directly attached to a hydraulic pump. If we have to give from inlet from a center point, the fluid can pass from center point to right side point and enter into the cylinder, and the piston is moved from left side to right side and create a higher pressure at the end of rod. When the position is changed and the piston cylinder assembly is moved from here position to here position, at this time the fluid pass from this line and create a higher pressure and cylinder move from left side to right side. We can see this working process is in animation file. This is the working of double side of the piston. One time is a inlet and create a motion at right side, and secondary side is create a motion at left side. Here the different types of cylinders available. The first is single acting cylinder, where the only one port is given for inlet and outlet. Is only one port is given for inlet and outlet, and the working from only one side. The next is a double acting cylinder. Here is a double acting cylinder. It's work both sides of the piston. Here two port is given, one as a inlet and one as a outlet. It can change alternately as per the requirement of the cylinder or operated by the servo mechanism or direction control valve. The next is a single acting cylinder with a return spring. The first is single acting cylinder but no return parameter are given. Here the single acting cylinder is written with spring. In the first stroke the inlet is given from this side and the piston move at the position left side to or right side. But what is the condition for return? Any piston cylinder arrangement cannot move itself. You have to give some parameter to its return, like as a gravity return. Here is given as a spring return. The next is a double acting and double rod. Here is a double acting cylinder, but piston is connected from the both side. Means we have to say as a double rod condition. Here piston is connected to a both side. The inlet parameter you have to give for one inlet and one outlet. One inlet and one outlet. Its work both side of the piston. One is the inlet, second is the outlet. If the position are changed, the inlet and outlet are also changed. Next is a double acting cylinder with cushioning. Double acting cylinder with cushioning. Here you have to show that one rod is attached, means that is the working parameter is only one side. The working parameter only one side. Here some weight are attached to a piston, that's called as a cushioning for better balancing of the cylinder. And the next is a double acting double cushioning cylinder, means the weight parameter are attached both sides of the cylinder and work smoothly. Then after the same cylinder are, we have to shown in the next figure is double acting double adjustment cushioning. It means that we have to vary load condition of the piston as per the requirement of fluid flow and load condition. If you have to require a large load to transfer one place to another place or operate any condition in a large spaces, then we have to adjust the piston weight so it can be create a variable force. So it's necessary to require double acting and double adjustment cushioning. In this place there is also a one inlet and one outlet. Is a one inlet and one outlet point. That's also look like as a double acting cylinder, but is a variable or adjustment piston arrangement. The next is a ram. There is a one type of the hydraulic jack. If you have to give one side inlet and another side outlet, that's also a work and look like as a double acting cylinder. But here we have to attach a rod in a double acting cylinder, and here we have to attach a ram instead of rod. So that position are mentioned. This is the ram condition, and we have to push, press, carry the load from bottom side to top side. Another we can say the creating a higher pressure. That's also machinery used as a ram. There is a one type of the hydraulic cylinder, but here we have to attach ram inside the cylinder. And the normal cylinder we have to attach a piston with rod, and here is a piston with ram to creating a higher pressure and load. The next is a pressure intensifier. This is the creating higher pressure and lower pressure as per requirement. This is the working only single side pressure intensifier. Here working on single side pressure intensifier. We have to understand in a detail. Here the piston inner side is very higher volume and this side is a very lower volume. So if you have to give pressurized fluid from this part, the piston move from left side to right side, but the volume difference from this point to this point is higher. Here we have to give the normal pressure, but at this right side point it's give a higher pressurized, means the volume difference is there, so it's create a higher and higher pressure, so it's called a pressure incentive air. The next is a telescopic cylinder. In a telescopic cylinder there is a number of cylinder inside cylinder and one is a rod which can in and out from the cylinder. You have to mention the rod is, here is a rod and number of cylinder is there inside the cylinder. The first consider this is the main cylinder, in between second cylinder and in between third cylinder. That cylinder has come out from the main cylinder and it's increased the length of total length and work. The detailed telescoping cylinder we have to show in the next slide. This is the telescoping cylinder. You have to apply fluid from the one inlet and working of three cylinders gives step by steps out, and next condition we have to remove from the oil. The step by step cylinder goes inside the cylinder. This is a three step cylinder, steps 1, steps 2 and steps 3.